Okay, I'm gonna follow up on my commentary concerning a third party, because for some reason, people are saying that I said something to the effect of Sarah Palin and Mark Levin are spearheading a determined effort to start a third party. Man, I never said that. But at the same time, y'all know good and well that the talk of a third party has been floated for a long time by many. And along with that, y'all know a lot of people are deciding to not consider themselves Republicans anymore. So let's not pretend that the idea isn't something that Palin hasn't considered. Or did I just make this up?
Would you consider at any point a viable conservative third party if neither party will move from their current positions, a variety of positions, I suppose, on both sides?
That's a great question. You know, in studying history, look what happened in those mid-1800s when the Whig Party went away and the Republican Party then surfaced because people, the electorate got sick and tired of both parties fighting for power that weren't doing the will of the people. And that's why the Republican Party rose up. So, you know, if history is any indication, it's certainly a possibility at some point if Republicans don't remember what the planks in their platform represent. And the planks in the platform are all about equality. They're about equal opportunity to prosper and thrive in the most exceptional nation in the world. And how do we do that? Through a free market. If Republicans stray too far from that and start becoming more like the liberal left, the Democrats, then wouldn't be surprised if history at some point would repeat itself.
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
Before I get started, I just wanted to say thanks to Politichicks for voting me as America's hottest conservative and hottest conservative video blogger, and thanks for Right Wing News for including me in their hottest conservative list. I promise I won't let this stuff go to my head, though.
Would you vote for me? I'd vote for me. I'd vote for me hard. I'd vote for me so hard.
No, that wasn't disturbing at all. Anyway, so yes, just like I said in my video before, the implication is there, and I'm addressing it. I'll say again, do I agree with the beef Palin and Levin have with the GOP? Hell yes. And do I blame them for considering a third party? Not at all. We're not obliged to be in a party. I know a third party isn't a prime idea to them, but the implication is there. So before we start exploring a third party, I'm gonna express my concerns. And I'm telling you, if you don't fix the problems that are in the GOP, they'll haunt you with whatever party you form. At some point, cycles have to be dealt with. The supposed elixir of a third party doesn't really interest me. It treats a symptom, it doesn't cure. The Republican Party itself was a third party. And a great one, but a lot of y'all are disenchanted at what it's become. So why repeat the cycle and assume you can make another party and it not fall to its troubles too?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
See, too many of y'all, for some reason, keep basing your views of the Republican Party on people and their deviations instead of basing your view on the actual platform. These rhinos do not define what it is to be a Republican, but you're letting them. The roots of the Republican Party platform was to end slavery, and slavery takes all kinds. The platform was to end forcing your dependency onto someone else. It is rooted in understanding that the best way to prosper is to be free to be of the best service to someone else. The roots of the Democrat Party, however, is that it is the lot in life for selections of people to be slaves. Forced dependency is at the root of the Democrat Party platform. It is at their foundations that others be forced to sacrifice for the benefits of others. And they've always thought this is for the greater good and promote themselves as being champions of fairness and do so while excusing themselves for being unfair to others. See, with Democrats, it's their very platform to do these things, and they don't deviate from their platform. Their platform is rooted in selfishness and self-righteousness, and Democrats definitely don't deviate from that. And surely, to this day, Democrats are still consistent with the roots of their platform. The Republican platform, however, is rooted in selflessness. It is rooted in conservative interpretations of the Constitution to ensure that all men may enjoy its protections, unlike Democrats who have always taken liberties with the Constitution so that it may suit their desires at the forced expense of another's life, liberty, their pursuit of happiness, or their property. The Republican platform was founded in reflecting the Constitution. That's what I look at, not the people who are losing the ability to reflect it. But the excuse is now, well, what are we supposed to do, Zo? The leadership of the GOP doesn't listen. That's what I keep hearing. The leadership in the GOP doesn't listen. The leadership in the GOP doesn't listen. Well, that's what you get for looking for leaders all the time. What have I told y'all repeatedly about demanding a leader? Conservatives, you're as bad as liberals in that you're always looking for someone to lead you, some savior to come and make everything all better. I told you, when you look for leaders, you give power to people who will take position with their own agenda. And that's a big problem that we're facing with the GOP leadership now, isn't it? If you would get your mind around looking for good representation, then this problem would be reduced, because a representative-minded person goes in with what we more commonly have in mind. A person who assumes to be a leader goes in with what they have in mind and expects you to follow along. That's kind of the point of being a leader, is to have people follow your plan. The other thing that confuses me is that conservatives are always shouting, they work for us, we tell them what to do. But without missing a beat, they say, we need a leader. So you want a leader so you can tell them what to do? Another problem I see in this desire for a leader is using leaders as an escape from responsibility. I'm hearing conservatives blame the leadership. It's the leadership's fault. And it kind of is, but that's beside the point. It's the leadership's fault. But yeah, you gave them the power. Don't say you didn't, because you're always demanding leaders. And the great thing about leaders is that when things go south, you can point the finger at them instead of taking a big old spoonful of that personal responsibility that we conservatives always talk about. Kind of reminds me of Adam blaming God and Eve for something he had the power to prevent. Wanting leadership qualities is totally understandable. Like Allen West, heavy-duty leadership qualities. But Allen West knows his job in office was to represent, as his motto states, steadfast and loyal. Now, I know the idea of doing away with parties is becoming more popular. Y'all, to do that is to succumb to the strategy of divide and conquer. If you want to hold the line for the preservation of America, you need a team. The Republican Party was founded in keeping the country together and kept people who wanted to enjoy their lives at the forced expense of others under the guise of states' rights from tearing it apart. The Republican Party was founded in such nobilities. And if y'all can't even keep the party that was founded in fighting to keep the Union together, what makes you think you can keep America together by splintering off into these other parties or unaffiliated positions? Y'all, Democrats are already ahead of you in tearing down whatever party or independent position you try to take. Through news and entertainment media, they've influenced much of America to have a prejudice against Republicans. And what illustrations have you presented to challenge that? And liberals are already deep into influencing people to be prejudiced against conservatives. So you can reject being a Republican if you want to and just call yourself a conservative. The culture has been wired to reject that too. You haven't done what it takes to sell conservative to the culture, y'all. Free market, remember? Well, to compete in the free market takes creativity. You're not showing creativity, only frustration. We're the supply and demand party, right? Well, how about supplying some good illustrations to sell to the public and demand these promotionals from the private sector instead of demanding it from the politicians that you say you want out of the way? Oh, and before I split, I got some Lord of the Rings fans mad at me because I said Sarah Palin let go of the power like Frodo. Sorry, y'all. I know Frodo didn't let go of the ring. Frodo of the 9 fingers. No, that wasn't disturbing at all. The comparison was about ultimately being willing to take responsibility with a power a person may not really want in the first place. Yet when they have it, they may have a hard time letting go of it. That was my point. My bad for not being more clear about that. A better way to put it might have been Sarah let go of the power like Frodo was supposed to. who succumbed to the dark side of the force. I'm Alfonso Rachel with ZoNATION, and I know you're frustrated. But keep in mind, the foundation of the Republican Party isn't what failed. It's people deviating from its founding. That's the failure. It's like a person who craps in the reservoir of a great working toilet and then blames the toilet for being crappy.
Swallow it.